Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. I am Scott Carson. It is a rockin' Tuesday here in Austin, Texas. Hope you're all doing well. For those that are joining us being live on Facebook Live, thank you for joining me this morning. For those that are listening on iTunes, Stitcher, and our amazing family of podcast listeners, thank you, as always, for listening. We hit a goal. We went over 88,000 downloads as of yesterday. And stoked and well on our way to hitting our goals of what we've set for ourselves by the end of the month. But last month was a record month for us as far as downloads so far in our small 8 month of life. But that's okay. We were rocking and rolling and just excited to see where things are going. We had just under 20,000 downloads. Actually, just under 20,000 downloads last month, and just blown away. But anyway, today's topic is a little bit different than most. It's all about coffee and what coffee can do for you. No, I'm not here to talk about bulletproof coffee. I'm talking about what you can learn from Starbucks and how you can apply that to your note and real estate investing game. Now, I crack up. I watch it, obviously I'm on Facebook. I'm on social media and stuff like that. I don't spend my entire day on that. Trust me, I would never get anything done. But I always crack up with some of the comments from people about educators or gurus or people starting things. And I have to laugh a little bit about people that have popped up as educators out there. Oh, hey, I've closed 12 deals. I'm now going to teach you everything you need to know about notes. Or I've bought $1 million house. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about buying $1 million mansions. It doesn't work that way. All right. Last night I was on a webinar. I was a guest host of my good buddy Aaron Young's Unshackled not his Unshackled owner podcast, but he has an Inner Circle Mastermind. He asked me to come on and speak about money and marketing, raising capital. And I kind of chuckled a little bit because I'm the big believer that when you're raising capital or making money, your marketing it's tied into all those, whether you're raising capital for deals or you're trying to find buyers for your products or your stuff. It's all deals with marketing. All right. And although I'm not a fan of their coffee, you can learn a lot about Starbucks. All right. You learn a lot about Starbucks will teach you a lot about marketing. All right. And you're like, what the hell? What are you getting at? Are you going to talk about how Pumpkin Spice Latte can help me with my note business? No, I'm not going to talk about Pumpkin Spice Lattes. I have never had one. Okay. Starbucks is an interesting case study when you look at how big they actually are. I mean, they've got, 28,000 branches across the world, if you think about this. 9,000 different locations, plus locations here in the domestic U.S. They have over 300,000 employees with over 157,000 of those and growing here domestically. $22 plus billion fiscal year 2017. That's a big, big company. And for those of you that are sitting out there like, how the hell am I going to compete? I'm a solopreneur. I'm a guy that's buying notes or a gal that's buying my first note. How the hell am I going to learn anything from Starbucks? Well, the thing I keep in mind is with that big, huge amount of sales that they generate every year and those amount of branches and the amount of employees that they have and the freaking amounts of coffee that they have one thing very much in common with you, that if you're watching this. They use the same exact tools that we use in marketing. They have a team. You would probably never guess this. And if you're watching this, I'd love for you to comment. How many people do you think they have working in their social media department? I'll tell you it's not one person. I'll tell you that. Okay. But the number may surprise you. Now, one thing that I found the most valuable from doing a little research here before I gave my presentation last night to Aaron's group was that they have 33.1 million rewards customers that follow them on a regular basis. That's freaking crazy. All right. 33.1 million rewards followers. That's an army of just raving fans that drink a lot of burnt coffee, because that's what I think of Starbucks. I think it's overpriced burnt coffee half the time. Half the time I go on there, if I get a cup, I'm like, oh, it's too hot. It's burnt half the time. I usually get their iced tea most of the time when I'm going there. I'm not a big fan of the Starbucks coffee, especially when you get used to paying $85 a gallon at events. when you host different hotel events, because that's what basically most hotels charge, $85 a gallon for a gallon of freaking Starbucks coffee. Yeah, you may not know that. It's what it costs. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is you have this behemoth, this industry leader using the same tools that you and I have at our fingertips. And Starbucks runs, get this, they run with a staff of about 8 or 9 people inside their social media department. I know that was shocking to me. That was totally shocking that 8 to 9 people run their social media for a huge $22 billion revenue company. Okay. 300,000 plus employees. But they're using the same things you Instagram and Facebook and doing some videos and stuff like that. Yes, they've got money to throw at it, so their stuff looks really, really nice. But the thing to keep in mind is if you're out there doing things yourself, you're a solopreneur, you're a investor who's getting started, or you're doing this by yourself, you're brand new, you have the same tools available to you basically, and you're more agile, mobile. It can be a little more hostile than a big behemoth like Starbucks. Okay, now let's think about Starbucks. You think about Starbucks. What do they have in their hand? Well, they started up in Seattle at Pike's Place. It was their first office, and they've grown dramatically with the franchises. If you've never been to Seattle, go by there. It's worth going by and seeing the first Starbucks. Totally worth it. I had a cup of coffee there last year when I was up there speaking at a Quest IRA boot camp thing. But what I'm trying to get at is they started with one spot. They started just like any of you are starting, okay? And they have grown dramatically over the last 30, 40 years because they keep pumping out. They keep doing the same things on a regular basis. Now they add some things here, they take away some things there, but pretty much it's coffee. It's burnt coffee, as I like to say. But they have their branding down. They have that green lady on a cup of coffee. They've built it up to where they dived into the one central focus of what people need. They found one thing and they got good at brewing coffee. They focus on. They didn't try to create hamburgers. They didn't try to go out and do a variety of different things. They focused on one thing and one thing only: the morning need of people. And if you know what a need is and you can fulfill that need, you can do amazing things. And if you're a real estate investor, there's people that have needs, right? Let's talk about what those needs are. Well, first, the needs is it's one of the 3 major concerns. You got to have housing, right? So if you provide housing to people, especially in a market that is short of inventory, you're going to have success. But if it's short of inventory, it's often harder to find the inventory to go out, or the distressed stuff, or the foreclosed stuff that we see happen. I'll give you an example. Austin, Texas here is one of those markets here where we don't see that much distressed stuff. So it's at a premium. Well, I'm not buying in Austin. I'm buying in other areas where there's plenty of inventory that people are still buying in, like the Midwest, Ohio, Detroit's, Columbus's, Indianapolis, those areas, to make things happen. But I'm going out and finding deals, and then I'm delivering to cures for needs. And this is something that's common across all real estate investors out there, especially if you're going to use other people's money. 2 needs that you solve. One, the time factor. A lot of people that have money that want to invest do not have the time because they're working at a job. They don't have the time. They don't have the knowledge. They can't take the time to learn it because they're too busy working 40, 50 hours for the man. Okay, that's the first thing. You solve that time factor by being able to take the second thing, their money, and helping them get an above average return. You're helping them take that money and help them get a high return so they can buy more of their time back. Okay. Those 2 critical points are important to keep in mind. Those are 2 needs that you're solving being a real estate or a note investor. Okay. Especially on the note investor side, if you're finding deals, that's solving a need for especially all the self-directed IRA investors, all the people that have money sitting in their IRAs that aren't doing anything with it. That's a huge need to solve. Helping them invest it, help them get their money to work, help them doing something to get out of that rat race, okay? And that's the beautiful thing. If you're using the things that are there, the tools that are there, and we're not talking, an hour a day. We're not talking 2 hours a day. We're talking you take 10 to 20 minutes each day to set your marketing up. And I'm excited. Our good friend Christy White with Survey Social is going to be on Note Camp, and that's actually one of her discussions is the 18-minute marketing plan. And so we're really overjoyed about to have Christy on because she was one of the top speakers last time. Everybody loved her and Elijah's discussion at Note Camp 4.0. So we're excited about that too because that's going to help out dramatically for you guys that you need to sell your own cup of Note Joe. Ooh, I like that. Hashtag Note Joe. If you liked what I just said, in the comments there, hashtag Note Joe. Let's face it. I think we all can make a better cup of coffee than Starbucks, most of us. Or it's like the same thing with McDonald's. You can make a better burger than McDonald's, just that McDonald's has the marketing down and they have the systems down. And that's two of the major carrots. Having the marketing, having the systems in place will outwork everybody else that's out there trying to make it perfect. You know, if you go to a restaurant and order a hamburger, if I go to, where did I go? Where did I eat it the other night at? If I go to True Lux restaurant downtown, really nice, fancy restaurant, yes, they can put a really nice, they probably insult them if I asked for a cheeseburger. They can put a hamburger together for me if I needed to. It'd be a nice steak burger. Immaculate probably cost me $40, and it would be great. But they're not going to sell 1 million of those or 1 billion of those, okay? McDonald's, if you watch the story, the founder talks about, hey, boom, 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 they got it all done. They're working on it. That's what you need in real estate. That's what you need in your note business, is to be focused on getting things and knocking those things down. Now you're closing deals, and trying to stay as focused on task as possible. If you're out trying to do 2 or 3 or 4 different things, you're not going to have success unless the two are extremely aligned with each other. All right. The only way to really get where you need to be is be focused. Now, if you're, look, I get we all have passions, we all have hobbies, we all have things that recharge our batteries. I get that. But at some point, you've got to put down the knitting needle, or you got to put down the pie or the cooking stuff and focus on getting deals done, focus on getting deals closed. I'm really excited about, we've got some people, Laura Blunt's got some offers. She's really supercharging her business. We've got some offers in from Phil and Melanie Jacobs, Steve Lindstrom, a couple people that went through our fast track just recently. Really excited about them getting some counters back today or tomorrow on stuff they submitted here just recently. And they're focused. And honestly, they're still working full-time JOBs. They're working diligently at another job, and they're still making time to put their offers in. They're taking time to get the emails up. I love the fact of what I love seeing Steve Lindstrom he's sending an email out every week. He's taking them easy peasy marketing systems that are available to everybody and marketing to his database. Laura's starting to do the same thing as well. So it's phenomenal seeing people taking things and working them. Hey, nothing but hearts for you there too as well, Laura. The thing I'm ultimately trying to get at, guys and gals, your real estate, your note business is a simple thing. It's rinse and repeat, doing a lot of the same things over and over and over again, just like making a cup of coffee. Okay? And marketing is the same thing to do that. You post a lot of the same things. Hey, here's my most recent project. Here's the deal we just closed on. Here's a mod. Those are simple things. This is not difficult business. It's most people make it much more complicated than it actually is in real life. All right? It's simple. You're making offers. You're getting tapes in. You're making offers. Boom, share. Here's a map of the states of the 20 assets I just made offers on. Boom, here's pictures of the 10 that got countered back that I accepted. Here's the 5 that we finalized after our final due diligence that we're funding on. Here's the story behind the story. All right? So that's what I'm trying to get at. You can take the simple things that you're doing on a daily basis and put it into the marketing system that is available, the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, the email blast, the YouTube videos, the Facebook Lives, the Facebook groups, the meetup.coms, the Bigger Pockets posts, and literally start racking up things. Start growing your audience. Start growing your clients. Start growing your coffee crack addicts, okay? That they start feeding into you and they start following you. One of the big things that I did a couple years ago, I think it was, I'd been divorced. I just moved into a new house I rehabbed, and I moved into it. I love the house. It was 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, ideally set up. It was 2-story golf course house. Absolutely love this house. It was just me and her and Princess. In a backyard. Great for her. And I lived there for about a year. All right. But one of the things I started doing every day is I started sharing, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to make 100K in 100 days. And I started sharing exactly what I was focused on. Okay. Shared and what I was focused on each day, whether it was notes, because this is back in before I was full-time notes. As I was doing fix and flips and wholesaling and raising capital and doing some subject to stuff. So I was sharing my journey on a daily basis on the things I was doing a short little, I was using, this is before Facebook Lives were around. I was using a flip camera. Actually, I still have it here. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these things. This is the Dell flip camera. I loved it. Little thumb drive plugged right into your laptop computer. Had all the video editing software on there you needed. I mean, you could literally edit, and it still works too. It just doesn't. The software update hasn't worked in a while. But I use this religiously. This was one I burnt through 2 of these. Absolutely loved it. One of the easiest ways. One of the best things they ever created to help make video easy for you. Is this my HD version or is this my regular version? I think this is my regular. Oh, and I can actually plug it into the TV and watch it on TV too if I need. But these flip cameras. Whoops! As I drop it. Help me share my journey, okay? And I would take that video each day, upload it to my blog, which is on hubpages.com, and I just shared what I was doing every day. Hey, I'm meeting with this investor. I took a selfie, boom, with me out with Tina or Ray or whoever it was, or my realtor. Hey, we're looking at this property. And I just shared my journey. I shared it. And honestly, that led to people within a period of about 30 days of 1,500 people reading my blog on a daily basis. It blew up. I started getting people that contacted me. I started people calling me all the time. Hey, I got 25 grand. I'd love a joint venture with you. I'm like, awesome. Let me find something. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to get at, guys and gals. If you start sharing what you have going on, you start marketing what you're doing, you can grow your tribe. You can grow your audience that you don't have to work so hard. After if you guys did a 90-day stretch where you tried to post something constructive every day online about your notebook, something you're working on, a deal, a tape, a scenario, a case study, a deal you're working on, a deal somebody else is working on, I guarantee your whole business model would just blow up in a good way. Okay? Totally would change the way that you see business and the way people see you. Now, I'm kind of making a little twist here, so stick with me. This weekend, was very lucky. Where's my book here? I went out and was able to listen to and meet, actually, Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra, who's an amazing speaker, and I got to hear him speak for an hour and a half on the healing self. This is his new book out. Well known, one of the best known speakers, one of the most 100 influential people that are talking about wellness and health. And a lot of us are sick. Not only ourselves are sick inside because of what we put in, but our businesses are sick. And that's one of the big things that popped in my mind when I'm sitting there listening to this guy talk. He was talking about how we are, obviously our bodies recycle every 48 to 90 days, recycle exactly who we are. The muscles, the bone mass, the cells reproduce themselves. Okay. We change over, and we can change who we want to be and our physical being for the most part by taking in better foods, by sleeping better, by drinking less alcohol, less Cokes. We can change what we do with that and change how we appear. Not in a dramatic physical appearance, but we can be healthier. We can literally be more active. We can actually do a lot of things that put us in the right direction where we need to go. We can steer our own rudder to health, as they say, the book, the healing self, as they talked about it. And I was thinking, I was sitting there listening to him talk, and he had a session where he basically asked, he goes, okay, we're going to do a whole meditation. You got, 1,000 plus people at Bass Concert Hall sitting there. It was more than 1,000 people, but sitting there going through it. And he's talking about things. I'm listening to the guy speak, and he's talking about hearing stuff. And then that's what popped in my mind. It's one of the things that popped in my mind. I was like, oh my God, not only can we obviously change the way we feel and change the way we do things, we can do the same thing in our real estate no business. It won't take you 30 or 60 days if you just focus on changing, on increasing stuff. And I guarantee you're going to get stuck. You're going to get in a rut. You're going to get stuck with some things. I get it. It happens. The idea, as Deepak was great enough to share, is that one of the things that happens is that we share molecules with just about everybody. Everybody is inhaling and exhaling molecules, and that we're absorbing others around us. Okay. And that we're a little bit of everybody involved. All the organisms is based on the molecules they breathe and exhale and stuff like that. We're a bit of everybody else. And yes, I am a bit of you guys out there. You guys are a bit of me. All right. It's really kind of creepy when you think about that. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that we absorb information from people all the time. I'm taking information from Deepak. I'm taking information from the hedge funds I talk to, the bankers, you guys, my students, all right, our listeners, vice versa. And you're not only listening to me, you're seeing me if you're watching on the YouTube videos or Facebook Lives, if you're just listening on the podcasts on iTunes or Stitcher, great. The idea is sometimes you got to hear things once or twice, and it's got to hit that tuning fork in your gut to realize that, are you really doing the right things, or are you off tune? And many of us are off tune in a variety of different reasons. I know I've been off tune in different things in the past. I've worked very hard over the last couple of years to get things rock and rolling. And I don't know what Laura's speaking here. Oh my, I'm so sorry, friends. I don't know what that means. I think you typed in the wrong comment there, Laura. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that we're all going to be a little bit off until we get focused on exactly what we need to focus on, whether it's we're meditating on our business. And that's one thing I think I want you guys to really focus on. If you're sitting there struggling, you're not having the type of success that you want to have, take a second and just breathe for a second. Take a moment to think about what you're really focused on. Where are you spending your time? Are you really doing the most productive thing in any given moment? And you can't run and burn both candles at both ends for a longer period of time. Trust me, I know this. I've burnt both ends of the candle many times for a long time. I know I'm looking very much forward to not burning candles for about a week and a half here very soon. But you can have short bursts of dramatic action and heal your business, heal your real estate, heal yourself by being focused on one thing. Starbucks didn't get where they wanted to be by selling everything else. Now they've obviously, as their business has grown and they're trying to keep market share and keep profitability up, they've added things, teas, and they do the Pumpkin Spice Lattes, or they had the whole create your own Coke thing in there for a little while, which I kind of knew wasn't going to last. And they added little sandwiches, which I think are over preserved and things like that. What I'm trying to get at is they still sell coffee. Okay? That's their big focus. My focus has always been buying and selling notes. And the second focus of that thing we've added, obviously, is the education side. Now, what you have to be careful of, too, is that people aren't out there just feeding you piles of shit. Okay? They're not feeding you cancer. They're not feeding you poison. Okay? There's a discussion on Bigger Pockets the other day talked about, if you can't do, you teach. And I would agree to that to a certain point. We still do notes on a regular basis. We still buy lots of assets each year. We started teaching 10 years ago because it helped us raise capital, also helped us move stuff off. And then we were basically charging $125 a class. We still probably don't charge what we should for our virtual note buying at $6.99 or a note buying blueprint at $9.97 or even like Note Camp at $2.49. You know, we give a lot more than we get back in. The thing that keeps us in mind is our focus has always been on notes. That's our focus, not on fix and flips, not on REOs, not on the flavor of the month. We focus on one thing. We always want to change and tweak our schedule. And I've seen a lot of people pop up recently. They're now educators. I saw Chris Johnson out of Houston, our good buddy down there, Big Chris, talking about, I'm going to teach a workshop. And, he's not who he's making fun of somebody. Chris is a good guy. And I couldn't agree more with him. We've seen some people that are closed 20, 30 doors. They can't close deals now, so they had to take a job with somebody else, but they still have an education program that's supposed to be more up to date. Well, if it's more up to date, why aren't you closing more deals? Why aren't you making things happen? So please, please, please be careful of who you learn from. Okay? Ask, how many deals have you closed in the last 6 months? How many deals have you closed this quarter? Okay? Are you making more of your money on deals or in the education? And there's a lot of good people out there closing stuff on education that have been around for a while. We've got some great speakers at Note Camp 5.0 that they're educators because they've expertly done things, but they're also expertly buying assets. That's one of the biggest things that we try to harp on is the people that we bring on are doers, not just talkers. And there's a lot of people that are just talkers that aren't doing things on a regular basis, okay? So that's a couple things that I want you guys to be focused on. If you can think about this, what's your cup of coffee? What's your thing that you can crunch out, you can knock out on a day in, day out basis? And if you use the smart tools, use the 21st century tools, Scotty will help beam you up to success. So that sounded kind of cheesy. What I'm trying to get at is be focused, use the tools that are available to you. This is a simple business. If you start talking about coffee, start talking about notes, and start sharing what you're doing, give yourself 60, 90 days of direct access, and you'll be rock and rolling. Robert Burrell, okay? You got a great comment here, buddy. I'm so excited to see you this next weekend in Cape Coral with the Mastermind. Robert shares again. I'm clearly not qualified to teach yet. Someone reached out to me and asked. Obviously, I told them I can't do that at all. Well, that's okay. Robert, you're brand new. You've bought one or two notes. You've partnered on a couple of their deals. You're learning, bud. You are one of the biggest, imbibers, or you're digesting. You're eating as much as you can knowledge-wise, and you're just a learner. I love that about you, bud. You're constantly on there learning and educating yourself and making things happen. And you've learned a lot in the last 6 months, and we're proud of that. We're excited to see you and see the growth that you take place over the next 6 months, because the first 6 months can be very intimidating. You can learn a lot of stuff, and it can be overwhelming. What do I almost paralysis by not analysis, but paralysis by education? So-and-so said this, or so-and-so said this. The biggest thing you always want to do is each deal, especially in no business, is unique, and you got to get the whole picture. We see a lot of people that are posting things and, I got this one deal. What's the true information? Where's the numbers? What's it worth? Who's the lender? Give us the full information so we can give you a valuable answer to get things done. If you only give us half the information, I can't give you an accurate answer. I'm not talking about Robert. I'm talking to other people that I see post on there. Good stuff, bud. Good stuff. We're going to have a good time down in Cape Coral at the Note Mastermind. We pretty stoked about that. Obviously, we've been very busy the last 2 weeks with Note Camp 5.0. Our mastermind is going to be great next week. The following week, it'll be a nice chance to relax and not only beautiful Cape Coral, but hang out with some really cool people that are doing some amazing things and are looking to do some amazing things. They're focused on their cup of Note Joe and rocking and rolling going forward. So, like I said, guys, you don't have to be a $22 billion company. Okay, you can start off one deal, one note at a time, one post at a time. You have the same tools that a huge company like Starbucks has. They only have 8 people doing their whole thing. Think about that. You've got 1/8 the budget. I'm joking. 1/8 the manpower if you're doing it yourself. If you've got an assistant doing it 20, 30 minutes a day. You have so much power. Think about that. If you do it for 90 days and you do 30 minutes a day, that's 45 hours, right? That's 2 days. Total of 2 days. If you just spent 30 days on your 30 minutes on your marketings for 90 days, that's 45 hours. That's less than 2 full days over the next 90 days to make something happen. I'm a big believer you can change your business. You can be your own healing self to your note business and go out and make some things happen. So go out, make it happen, get started. Don't sit around waiting to do it. If you're at Starbucks now or you're in Starbucks the next couple of days, think about this. What have you done today? What have you done today to help really invigorate your business and get you jump started? So until then, guys, go out, make something happen. Absolutely love that you guys are listening in and join us. We were so freaking blessed to call you guys part of our Note family. I just want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and always thank you for being a part and sharing, commenting, giving us reviews, and the emails that come in from you guys that are listening and sharing your stories. We are here to help any way we can, but you've got to go out and take action yourself. I can't do it for you. So have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.